Let's go to the tight ends. We got 3 big ones on a bye week.
It's definitely an offense you want pieces of.
Oh, absolutely.
Trey McBride, who's been great, especially with Jacoby Brissett. Brock Bowers, who's been hurt. And Sam Laporta, who's just been kind of on the fringe of being a tight end one, which might seem like a little bit of a surprise. But maybe the most interesting player on waivers of the week here, Matthew. Somebody you've mentioned for the last couple weeks, Oronde Gadsden II, 96% available. Yes, the Chargers were in a heavy throw script coming back from behind, but 164 receiving yards for an offense that's been looking for a tight end to take over a pass-catching role.
Yeah, they in the preseason they were talking how much they like Tyler Conklin, and Will Dissly's been there. But we've talked about Oronde Gadsden quite a bit. This is a guy that was very productive at Syracuse, was an early day 3 pick for them, for the Chargers here. And again, they've been so pass rate over expectation. They've been so heavy in the pass that Gadsden continues to. Now, this might be his best game of the year, 7 for 164 and a touchdown.
Fine.
But like in the world that we live in, where any tight end with a pulse draws your attention.
You go for 50 and a touchdown, and you're at the top, your starting tight end.
Right. So far this year, he's averaging over 61 receiving yards per game. Only Tyler Warren is averaging more. In the last 2 weeks, he's got a 95 utilization score. That is second best among all tight ends over the last 2 weeks. So he's out there. He's running a lot of routes. They like him a lot. And certainly a performance like this in a game, and the Chargers have lost, I think, 3 in a row now.
Yeah.
Like, they're looking for answers on offense. Hopefully they get Joe Alt back soon. But I think if I didn't need someone this week, and chances are, given all the injuries and the 6 teams on a bye, you need somebody at a specific position. But if I was just like, I'm good, just who's the best player available on waivers that I think is the most interesting, I think it's Oronde Gadsden.
Yeah, Chargers did beat Miami, but doesn't really count if you bet the Dolphins.
Sorry, all right. So they won in the last 4.
But
right?
Oronde Gadsden.
Right.
So my understanding,
they should have lost to Miami, by the way.
And they very nearly did.
Yeah.
My understanding of Gadsden is that he should be viewed more as like a wide receiver.
That's how we talked about Harold Fannin.
Yeah,
same exact thing. I actually think Gadsden's a more natural athlete to me.
Yeah.
Fannin was a more productive player, at Bowling Green in that 1-year span, but Gadsden. He's got all the tools to be a super high-ceiling pass-catching tight end. He really does.
I mean, this is the type of guy you want to go all in on because he's done it 2 weeks in a row. The fact that he's got an 8 and 9 targets, 7 receptions across these 2 games for a team that throws a ton. Also, Keenan Allen seems to be receding a little bit, and Gadsden, he's just out there a ton. He's playing a boatload of snaps, and so the sky's the limit. Like, I don't know, would it be shocking if he's like a top 3 tight end the rest of the way? I don't think it's likely, but it seems like it's within the realms of outcomes if you put these 2 games out there.
I think I'd be more comfortable saying I think he's a top 10. He's a tight end 1 the rest of the way.
Yeah.
You don't want to get, we got all excited about Mason Taylor. And again, it's not his fault, it's the quarterback.
But there's just not many players who go like 7 for 164 and a touchdown ever.
No. He is a legit talent. There's no question about it.
Our last one here is Cade Otton, guys. You get a little bit of a floor now with Cade Otton with all the injuries the Bucs have had with their pass catchers. He gets 9 targets this week, catches 7 of them for 65 yards. I feel like he's somebody we mention almost every week at this point.
Yeah, he's a little Hunter Henry-ish, but again, in games that Mike Evans has missed over the last 2 seasons, Cade Otton averaging over 14 fantasy points per game, 22% target share. So with Evans done for most, if not the rest of the season, Cade Otton becomes interesting. He's now had 3 straight games with double-digit fantasy points. Worth noting the Saints have allowed a touchdown to an opposing tight end in 3 of their past 4. You see some streaming options here. Dalton Schultz, we'll get into that a little bit more in the next segment when we talk about the Texans, but very quietly, 4 straight games with at least 5 receptions. I just mentioned Mason Taylor. Assuming Tyrod Taylor starts for the Jets, Connor, Taylor should benefit.
Yeah, as soon as Tyrod got in that game, you noticed a bump from Mason Taylor right away. And then you got Noah Fant, Juwan Johnson, Theo Johnson, who caught the miracle touchdown from Jackson Dart.
But he has almost a 20% target share in Jackson Dart's 4 starts.
It's a lot of looks from the young quarterback. No denying that.
And of course, Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson was a member of the first championship season.
Desperation member.
No, yeah, exactly.
Is that when you were locked out of all the tight ends and that was your only option?
Yes, that was my only option. I was able to get Juwan Johnson. He led me to a title. And where I am now in my season, just so everyone's wondering, I'm now in the nostalgic phase. Reminiscing. Like, again, like, you look at the NFL and, like, some of the teams that are just, so awful, like the Jets. Now you got to start, like, hey, remember when Joe Namath was here? Like,
Rex Ryan.
You got nothing. Exactly. You you can't. Unfortunately, that's what we have to do with the fan base now. Is like we've been such bad. We have to remember all the good times so they don't abandon us.
To be fair,
the
you're
on-field
rebuilding.
product is terrible.
To be fair to you, you're rebuilding in a redraft. So you gotta call
Juwan
it
Johnson,
like it is.
all right. JJ, as he's known.
Yes,
the
yes.
definitive JJ in the NFL.
Stop the league. Stop the league.
If you need a defense or a defense streamer here, Colts versus Titans, Falcons versus Miami, the Bucks against the Saints.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.